Welcome to Environmental Earth Science. This course focuses on the fundamentals of Earth processes, with an emphasis on human interaction with the environment. This interaction goes multiple ways. We will learn about how Earth processes shape where we find good places to farm, clean water to drink, or mineral or energy resources that we use to power our lives. We will also explore how the way we use Earth resources affects our ability to use them in the future, as we learn about resource depletion, waste management, pollution, and climate change. Finally, we will look at how the way we have used Earth resources in the past and present impacts people, often unequally, and what lessons we can learn from Earth science and from the past to more sustainably use Earth resources in the future. In other words, this is a class about the world around us. Let's start with a story of one place, close to Kent. This is a picture I took within Cuyahoga Valley National Park, an oasis of green within the heavily urbanized corridor between Akron and Cleveland. This picture looks from the top of a hill down at a grassy field surrounded by trees. It looks bucolic now, but if we could peer into the past, we'd see a place profoundly altered by human activity over the past century. In the 1930s and 40s, half of this hill, the area that is now flat, disappeared as it was mined away for construction materials. After the mining ceased, the ground was left bare and allowed to erode. When the National Park Service took over this site, they reclaimed the mine by regrading the hillside to a stable shape and planting it in fast-growing grasses, with the idea that the surrounding forest would be able to naturally reforest the area. But that was almost 20 years ago, and very few trees have succeeded in surviving, because all of the topsoil was removed by the mining and the remaining soils were compacted during the reclamation process. The Park Service is now working to try to restore this grassy hill to a forested landscape, so the park users have another place to hike and enjoy nature. But even if the park's current efforts are successful, it will require decades to make this place superficially look like the surrounding parkland. The story of one place encapsulates the themes that we will return to throughout the semester. Earth systems are complex and interconnected, with consequences that cascade across systems. Here, mining of a mineral resource affected the soils and plants, and ultimately the way humans are able to enjoy this land. The timescales on which Earth processes and humans act are very different. The gravel that was mined away was deposited about 10,000 years ago, but the mining took only decades. Regrowing and the soil and the forest in the wake of mining may take centuries. Consequences of human use of Earth resources are unevenly felt. In this example, at its simplest, the people who benefited from the mining are not the same ones now affected by the degraded environment. And finally, we can use Earth science and the past to learn how to interact with the environment more sustainably now and in the future. In this example, the National Park Service is partnering with earth and environmental scientists, including faculty and students at Kent State, to study and improve their restoration practices, using this patch of land as an experiment where what we learn can be used to restore other degraded land within the park. This week in class, we'll lay out the broad concepts that underpin these themes. As we proceed through the course, we'll study individual Earth resources and environmental Earth science problems in more detail.